Good afternoon, students. So, I welcome you all to my class. Myself, Dr. Aditi Fapare, and I'm teaching biology on this wonderful Unacademy platform since this year itself, month of June. I have pursued PhD in diabetes, Masters in Bioanalytical Sciences, BSc in Biochemistry, and B.Ed in Biology. So, all these courses I have done from uh, like Mumbai University, and B.Ed I have done from Pune University, and I was the topper during my B.Ed. Now this is 13th year of my teaching going on. So for my regular classes like special classes and plus subscription classes on this Unacademy platform, you can use my referral code APMAHA to unlock the free classes as well as to get 10% discount on the subscriptions. And this is my YouTube referral code, that is APMAM Live. So this particular lecture is a recorded session, students, but soon I will come live to meet you all. So please remember my YouTube referral code, that is APMAM Live. So hope to see you all soon. So this is my first lecture for 12th standard. Okay, on this particular platform, I have already covered one chapter for 11th standard students. Now for 12th standard students, this is the first chapter. The name of the chapter is Reproduction in Lower and Higher Plants. So what are we going to discuss today? We will talk about what is reproduction, what is significance of reproduction, what are the different types of reproduction, correct? Then various examples. Then I will also discuss in brief about different types of asexual reproductions along with examples. And then of course the favorite among students, that is quiz. So at the end I will definitely conducting a quiz which I know you will definitely enjoy. So let's start with the lecture. First of all, what do you mean by reproduction? So reproduction is a biological process. Now what is a biological process? See, there are so many life processes which take place inside our body or inside the body of a living organism. In fact, because of this life processes, we are alive, right? So reproduction is one amongst them. What are the other life processes? For example, nutrition, circulation, digestion, absorption, excretion, right? And likewise, reproduction is one of the life processes. So it is also known as a biological process. Bio means life, understand. So biological process means this process is taking place inside the living organisms, or because of this the organisms are sustaining on this earth, you may say that. Therefore, this is termed as a biological process, a living process. Now, in this process, exactly what happens? Uh, it is a process in which every living organism gives birth to a new organism, right? Which is similar to itself. Or as you can see in the definition, it's a biological process in which organism gives rise to young ones. Young ones are also known as offsprings, right? And similar to its own kind. Now, what do you mean by similar to its own kind? अपने जैसा, खुद के जैसा, right? Any living organism who gives birth to a new organism, so that new organism will always be similar to the parent, correct? So, to explain this, I'll give you some examples. Let's say cat. You all must have seen cat around you. You all have seen this. Cats, dogs, humans, of course. Then we have seen seeds of different plants. We have also seen different plants and trees around ourselves, right? Okay. So, coming to the cat. Cat undergoes the process of reproduction, correct? And it gives birth to a new offspring, okay, or a new cat, which is known as a kitten, correct? But this kitten is similar to cat, right? So let me explain you in more simpler way. Cat will always give birth to a cat. Dog will always give birth to a dog. And a small baby dog, we call it as puppy. humans will always give birth to human babies only. Or if you plant a mango seed, let's say, uh, you will get a mango tree only out of it. Correct? Have you ever seen a chiku plant, okay, or a guava tree or a pineapple tree coming out of a mango seed? No, that's not possible. Or have you ever seen a cat giving birth to a dog? Right? Or have you ever seen an elephant giving birth to a cat? So all these things are not possible in nature. Understand? So therefore, that last four words are important. Similar to its own kind. Matlab cat will give birth to cat only, dog will give birth to dog only, and so on and so forth. So this is true for plants. This is also true for animals. Understand? So I hope now the reproduction definition is clear to all of you. I repeat once more, it is a biological process in which an organism gives rise to young ones. Okay, young ones are also known as offsprings. We also call them progeny. Okay, but similar to its own kind. This is very important. Let's move further. Now, the offsprings which are grown, okay, or which are born by this procedure, by reproduction. Now, these offsprings they're very small, immature initially, right? So, these offsprings they grow, then they mature, and finally they turn and produce a new offspring. Correct? I repeat, the offsprings which are born, right, by this process, they are immature, they are small. So these offsprings they grow, they become mature, and then finally they produce a new offspring. Correct? So you can see certain images I have placed there in my PPT. So you can see male and female human beings, of course, and a small baby between them in the second diagram. So it means that couple has produced a human baby, which is of course similar to its own kind, similar to them. Then you can see the examples of flowers as well. So basically yellow flower and red flower, pollination took place. Honeybee is indicating that pollination is taking place. And honeybees are responsible for that. We all know that. So what has happened is they have resulted into or they have given birth to an orange flower. Correct? So but they have given or they have formed or given birth to, or let me put it, they have formed a flower itself. Fine, and that too similar to its own kind. So I hope this is clear now. अच्छा चलो, तो अभी ये तो समझ में आ गया कि what is reproduction and some examples of it. But what is the significance of this process, reproduction? I mean, what is the importance of this process? Is it really important? What will happen if reproduction does not take place, or the organisms on the earth, well, if they stop reproducing, if they do not reproduce, then what do you think will happen? See, reproduction, as we have seen, it gives birth to young ones, and that too of its own kind. Correct? So, obviously, it maintains continuity of life on earth. Correct? All living organisms they reproduce and they give birth to young ones, which means they help in maintaining the continuity of life on earth, right? One generation after another. It enables the continuity of a species generation after generation, right? Suppose if reproduction suddenly stops, then what do you expect? This process only stops suddenly in all the living organisms. So ultimately, a day will come when the organisms which are already present on the earth, let's say, they will survive. They all will survive till their respective, lifespans. जब तक उनका lifespan है, तब तक सब जिंदा रहेंगे. And a day will come when they all will die. And now the condition was कि reproduction process was stopped in all the living organisms. So, a point will come when all the living organisms will die on this earth. And if reproduction process stops, then obviously there would be no new offsprings. There would be no new generation, which means the life on earth will stop. I hope this is clear. Same goes for a particular species. If a particular species stops reproducing, then what do you expect? A time will come when that particular species will become permanently extinct from the earth. And of course, we don't want that. Correct? Because all living organisms, we are dependent on each other. है ना? In fact, man needs all these living organisms more. They don't need us. Plants, animals, microorganisms, they do not need us. That is man, but we definitely need them. We are dependent on them. We are dependent on plants, animals, insects, correct? Microorganisms, because there are some good microorganisms as well. So we definitely need them. Understand? Secondly, reproduction process also helps in evolution of a species. Now, what do you mean by evolution of a species? Evolution is a process wherein changes have taken place in the organism. Correct. And obviously it's not a process which takes place overnight. यानी कि एक दिन में एक रात में evolution हुआ है. I hope you agree to this. This process of evolution, in any species for that matter, it takes many years, several years, and then the evolution is seen or the changes have been seen in any particular species. Take our example, human ka hi example le lo. Many years back, we were not like this. We were not able to walk erect. Our posture was not erect. We used to walk on four legs. Then our entire body was covered with hairs. Correct? We also had a tail. But look at us now, right? There are so many differences now that have taken place over a period of time. We don't have our entire body filled with hair. We do have hair, but the length has reduced drastically. Then we do not walk on four legs now. We have got erect posture, right? And obviously, we do not have tail now. We do have tailbone, but we do not have tail. Correct? So this is some one example of ourselves that I gave you. These changes have not occurred in humans overnight. है ना या एक दिन में नहीं हुए हैं. It has taken thousands of years, and that is what is evolution all about. In all species, evolution takes place. It's a slow process, but it definitely happens for the betterment of a species. ठीक है? Chalo. So let's move further. I hope you have understood this. Let's talk about types of reproduction. There are two types of reproduction, asexual and sexual. Now first let's discuss about asexual reproduction. Now what do you mean by this? Asexual reproduction, it involves only one parent. Only one parent is involved. So and no gametes are produced. So therefore no fertilization, because fertilization is a process in which gametes are fused together. बट यहाँ पे गैमेट्स फॉर्म ही नहीं होते तो फर्टिलाइजेशन का सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता, राइट? देन ओनली वन पेरेंट गिव्स बर्थ to offsprings in asexual type of reproduction. Any method you take, any method of asexual reproduction you take, only one parent is involved, no gametes, no fertilization, and this one parent will give birth to new offspring. Now, this offspring would be either one offspring or it could be multiple offsprings. It could be 10 offsprings or 20 offsprings or 100 offsprings. That does not matter. Understand? These offsprings, whether one or many, they are produced from a single parent. Therefore, a DNA will be same DNA from parent will be passed on to the offspring. Exactly same identical DNA will be passed from the parent to the offspring. Correct? So what do you expect? Obviously, if the same DNA or identical DNA is passing from parent to the offspring, then obviously the offspring will look identical to the parent, which means the offspring is morphologically and genetically same as that of the parent. Morphologically means all the external characteristics, okay, will be same as that of the parent, and genetically means the genetic constitution, the number of genes, structure, function, etc. Even that will be exactly same as that of the offspring. I hope you understood this. So again, I repeat, in asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. So this one parent, when it gives birth to an offspring, it will pass its DNA as it is, without any modifications, without any changes. The parent will pass its genetic material. Okay, in most of the cases it is DNA, so that is deoxyribose nucleic acid. So it will pass its DNA without any modifications as it is into the offspring. And suppose there are 10 offsprings, or suppose there are 100 offsprings, then what do you expect? Again, the same thing. This parent, in the parent cell, it will multiply its DNA. If 10 offsprings are produced, then it will multiply its DNA 10 times. And then each of the offspring will get one copy of DNA from the parent. You know, one copy, second copy, third copy, like that. So all the 10 offsprings that are produced by one parent, each of this offspring will receive, okay, one uh, DNA copy from the parent, and all these copies are exactly same, exactly identical. Okay, so definitely all the offsprings, if there are 10 offsprings born by asexual method, all of them will be identical to the parent, which also means they are identical to themselves. Do you agree? Right? So all the 10 offsprings will be identical to each other, as well as they are identical to the parent, morphologically as well as genetically. Such offsprings are called as clones. Always remember this. So all the methods of asexual reproduction, they always produce clones. Correct? Next, coming to sexual reproduction. As you can see, it involves two parents, male and female, that is father and mother. So male produces male gametes, female produces female gametes. In this process, the male gamete and female gamete they fuse, and fertilization takes place. Correct? Now, uh, what do you expect now? A male gametes are reproductive cells, understand? And they have their own DNA. So male gamete uh, will have its own DNA, and female gamete will have its own DNA. Correct? Whether plants or animals, sexual reproduction, it is the same. The principle behind it is the same. In plants, the male gametes are present inside the pollen grains, and the female gametes is nothing but the ovum or egg nucleus. Similarly, if you talk about animals or humans, then over there also the male gamete is called as spermatozoa or sperm, and female gamete is called as ovum or egg. Whether you consider plant or animals, right? The male gametes are produced, they are haploid. Female gametes that are produced, even they are haploid, which means they contain only one set of chromosomes, which is indicated by small letter n. Okay, and so they have their unique DNA, both the gametes, and they fuse each other. Male gamete, female gamete, they fuse each other. So n plus n equals to 2n. That means now two sets of chromosomes will be formed in the new structure that is formed after fertilization. So the structure that is formed after fertilization is known as zygote. Correct? Whether plants or animals. So zygote is considered to be a first living cell which is diploid, and it is produced in all. It is the first living cell which is produced in all sexually reproducing organisms. I hope that is clear. Zygote is the first living cell. It is diploid and it is produced in all sexually reproducing organisms. Fine. Now what happens is, in this zygote, then the zygote will turn into embryo and it will form a new organism. It could be a plant or it could be an animal. Now, in this method, sexual reproduction, the offsprings that are born, they are not identical to either of the parent. They are not identical either to father or mother. They may have some characters of father and some characters of mother, but they won't be exactly identical to either father or mother. Why? Because सिर्फ father का DNA नहीं आया है या सिर्फ mother का DNA नहीं आया है उनमें. The father and mother DNA got mixed. है ना? So and that mixed DNA had that genetic recombination. Mixed DNA has come into the offspring born. So a new set of genes is formed, a new DNA is formed, understand, which is a mixture of mother and father ka DNA. right? And therefore, the offspring born by sexual reproduction, it may have some characters similar to father, some characters similar to mother, and new characters of its own as well. And it will never be identical to either father or mother. I hope this is clear, all of you. Right? So, offsprings are morphologically and genetically different from each of the parent. Always remember this. Okay? So, asexual में there are various examples which I will be discussing further with you on different types of asexual reproductions and examples. हम अभी देखेंगे आगे. सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन का एग्जाम्पल्स तो आपको पता ही है ना. प्लांट्स भी है बहुत सारे एंड एंजियोस्पर्म्स वगैरह. एंड टेक अपना खुद का एग्जाम्पल ह्यूमंस. करेक्ट. चलो. Let's come to this particular slide. You know, types of asexual reproduction. I'll just have a sip of water, please excuse me, and then we'll start again. Okay, chalo. So let's start again. Types of asexual reproduction. So these are some types of asexual reproduction which are mentioned in your book. Okay, chapter 1, 12th standard Maharashtra State Board book. Okay, these are certain methods which are mentioned. So you can see fragmentation, budding, spore formation, binary fission, cornidea formation, gemule formation, vegetative reproduction, in that cutting, grafting and tissue culture. So this is what I plan to cover in today's session. Let's move further. Okay. So you can see here fragmentation, right? What is fragmentation? Basically, this is a process in which a multicellular organism means organisms which are made up of many cells. Okay, so multicellular organisms, they break into fragments. Multicellular organisms, they break into fragments. And then this each fragment grows into new individual. That is fragmentation. Simple. Multicellular organisms can break into fragments, and each fragment is capable of growing into new individuals. It produces new cells. It is capable, each fragment is capable of producing new cells, okay, which forms a complete new organism. For example, Spirogyra. So you can see the diagram also here. It's a Spirogyra. Then you can see nucleus, septum, spiral chloroplast. Septum is a dividing wall. So the fragmentation takes place at that wall. Okay, as you can see there. And the fragments can be of different lengths. Okay, different lengths, and each is capable of growing into a new individual. अच्छा, ये fragmentation होता कैसे है? What causes fragmentation in Spirogyra? Maybe some unfavorable conditions in their habitat. They live in aquatic habitat, and one uh, one best thing which causes the fragmentation is the pressure of water currents. They are present in the water. They are aquatic, so water flows with pressure. So these water currents, they cause fragmentation in Spirogyra. ठीक है? चलो. Remember this example. Next is budding. Now, this is a common method of asexual reproduction. In most of the living organisms, it is seen. And as you can see, one or more outgrowths, that is birds, are formed in this process. And then each bird develops into a new organism. For example, yeast. Then there is one more example, hydra. So yeast to like fungi का example है, but hydra is an aquatic animal. ठीक है? So let's talk about the process of budding remains the same. Principle behind it remains the same. Let's discuss the example of yeast. As you can see, yeast, first of all, it is a unicellular organism. That means it is made up, its entire body is made up of only one cell. ठीक है? The entire body is made up of only one cell. So as you can see there, a parent cell, yeast cell is there. And this parent cell, of course, it has got a nucleus. It has got a nucleus, cytoplasm, है ना? So this yeast cell, parent cell, it divides. Okay, it divides by mitosis. But this mitosis is not equal. So unequal mitosis takes place. What do you mean by unequal mitosis? What is mitosis first of all? One cell divides and two cells are formed. Correct? So, but in this case, one big cell, one large cell and one small cell is formed. Why so? Because the bigger cell gets more nucleus and cytoplasm and the smaller cell gets less nucleus and the cytoplasm. Correct? And mitosis is an equational division. We all know that. Means what? When the parent cell undergoes mitosis, so before it divides, it multiplies its genetic material and then it divides the genetic material into half. So that is in it divides it into half in equal mitosis. तो यहाँ पे mitosis हो रहा है, but unequal mitosis है, because of which one cell is large and one cell is small. Now, this small cell, it is immature. It is immature yet. So it remains attached to the larger cell. Small cell, it is immature. Therefore, it remains attached to the larger cell. And this small cell is known as bird, BUD bird. ठीक है? And this bird, it will obtain nutrition from the larger cell. And it will grow and it will become mature. So one fine day, you can see here, bird begins to form from a parent cell, then nucleus copies and divides the bird, it receives a copy, then bird now becomes separate daughter cell. So basically, the bird will obtain nutrition, right? And then it will become mature, and once it becomes mature, then it will detach itself. It will detach itself from the body of an organism. It will detach itself from the body of an organism, that is from the body of the larger cell. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then, a budding process may also produce a chain of birds. Sometimes only single bird is formed or sometimes a chain of bird is formed by the similar process of mitosis. Then when they will remain attached to the parent cell, when they are mature, they will fall on the ground. They get detached, they all fall on the ground, whether one or many. They will detach from the parent cell, they will fall on the ground, and then this each bird, each mature bird is capable of developing into a new organism. It will obtain nutrition from the surroundings and it will grow and develop. Okay, I hope this is clear. So this process is called as budding. One of the common methods of asexual reproduction. Let's move further. Spore formation. So there are different kinds of spores that are formed. Here I have given example of zoospores, which is there in your textbook. You can see the diagram as well. There is a parent cell, right? Parent cell is known as, in this case, it is known as zoosporangium. I have shown spore formation in Chlamydomonas. Okay, Chlamydomonas is green alga, okay, or green algae. So parent cell is shown there, and it is also called as a zoosporangium. Why that? It is a sac-like structure, pouch-like structure, as you can see, also known as zoosporangium. And inside this zoosporangium, spores are formed. Correct? And you can see these are motile spores. They have, you can see they have two flagella. What are flagella? है ना, उसके सिर पे आप देख सकते हो the tail like structures है ना, दो है. Actually they are flagella. Flagella helps them to move, okay, to perform locomotion. That's why these are motile spores. With the help of flagella they move, right? They are called as flagellated motile zoospores. Correct? And so they are produced in the zoosporangium. Once they become mature, zoosporangium ruptures or parent cell ruptures and the zoospores come out. Simple. And then each zoospore, it takes the nutrition from the surrounding environments and it becomes or it matures into a complete new offspring. Okay, or it will develop into a new mature organism. ठीक है? I hope this is clear. Each zoospore has a capacity to enlarge and to become a mature organism, that is a mature chlamydomonas. Simple? Okay, chalo. Again, how are these zoospores formed? They are formed by mitosis. Understand? See, in asexual reproduction, only mitosis takes place. Meiosis, that is reduction division, it does not take place in any of the asexual reproductions. Okay? Because gametes are not formed. So, all these methods, budding, spore formation, then binary fission, which we will be talking about now, so in all these processes, only mitosis takes place. Meiosis, that is reduction division, does not occur. Okay? Chalo. So let's move further. Binary fission. Genetic material replicates. What is binary fission first of all? Fission means division. Fission is division and binary. Bi means two. So when a parent cell, one parent cell divides, okay, and two daughter cells are formed, that process is called as binary fission. Best example is amoeba. You can see binary fission in amoeba, right? So before, and again this is mitosis. Fine. So before the parent cell amoeba divides, you can see that it has got irregular shape, size, structure. You can see the nucleus, cytoplasm. So before it divides, the nucleus is doubling up. And it will become double. And then you can say elongation of nucleus is happening over there, and then finally it will divide. Division of nucleus will take place, and then division of cytoplasm takes place, which ultimately results in two daughter cells. I hope this is clear. So basically, the same thing I have written there, what I just spoke. Genetic material replicates, cell divides into two equal sized daughter cells, and then two similar individuals are produced from a single parent cell. These two daughter cells will grow and develop into mature amoeba. Correct? This is also seen in Paramecium. I hope this is clear. If you have any queries, any doubt, you can ask in the chat box. Okay, whenever I'll see, I will definitely reply. Next is conidia formation. Now, what are conidia? These are also spores. Okay, these are also spores. And here I have given the example of penicillium. Penicillium, okay. So, and the conidia, they are the spores of penicillium. So, they are unicellular, matlab single cell, uninucleate means they have only single nucleus, and they are non-motile spores. Zoospores were motile, they can move. But this conidia spores, they are non-motile, they cannot move. Okay? And as I said, spores of penicillium. Just see the diagram of penicillium. You can see the vegetative hyphae. You can see the erect stalk-like part, which is known as conidiophore. On that conidiophore, you can see certain green color branches have come out, known as medullae. On that medullae, you can see phyllites or a sterigmata has developed, and on that phyllites or sterigmata, conidium is present. Single is conidium, singular is conidium, and plural is conidia. Okay, so various conidia are produced on the conidiophore. Of course, the detailed structure is there on the diagram, as you can see. So this conidia, they are formed within the narrow tips of the flask shape phyllites, okay, or sterigmata. You can see a cone shaped structure is formed. अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो ये जो मेट्यूले एंड ये जो पूरा स्ट्रक्चर है ओके या कॉनिडिया को भी अगर आपने इंक्लूड किया तो इट फॉर्म्स अ स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अ कोन आइसक्रीम का कोन कैसा होता है वैसा स्ट्रक्चर है इसीलिए दी स्पोर्स आर कॉल्ड एज कॉनिडिया ओके फ्रॉम कोन they came to be known as conidia. Let's move further. Gamule formations. Now, what is gamules? Basically, gamules are internal births which are formed during unfavorable conditions in certain organisms, aquatic organisms. Right? So, when the conditions are not favorable for them, matlab for their growth, development, or reproduction, when they sense that the conditions are not favorable, then they will form a bird, and they will live in that form. for a certain period of time. Okay, so they are produced asexually. Of course, it is asexually produced mass of cells, and these gametes are also capable of developing into a new organism. Correct? You can see the structure of gamete I have shown there. You can see a micropyle. Micropyle is a pore, an opening or pore which just allows for exchange of gases. You can see outer covering. You can see spicules, that is needle-shaped structures, spicules. What do spicules do? They are needle-shaped, as I said. So if another organism comes to cause some damage to these gametes, then the spicules which are needle shaped, they will prick it, and it will be in pain, and it won't eat the gametes, or it won't cause any kind of damage, and the organism will just move away, run away. So basically defense mechanism hai. And you can see that types of cells, archocytes, they are a type of cells, and which make up internal part, which are present in the internal part of gametes. You can also see the inner covering. तो ये एक थोड़ा स्ट्रक्चर दिखाया है मैंने. Now example, who forms these granules? Granules are formed in freshwater sponges. Sponges, they belong to the phylum Porifera, right? They have small pores, that are small openings throughout their body, correct? And therefore they're aquatic. So the water enters inside the body, and therefore their body becomes extremely soft because they have porous. They are porous. So water enters inside them. They become extremely soft, just like a sponge. Therefore, they are termed as sponges. So there are freshwater sponges, for example, spongilla, and some marine species such as sea sponges. And both of these varieties, they develop gametes, or they form gametes when they feel that conditions for their survival are unfavorable. So when they sense that conditions are favorable now, then they hatch out. These gametes hatch out, and the organism comes out of it, and it develops. Okay, and it starts the normal functioning. Fresh water means salt concentration is absent or very less. For example, river, pond, lakes, and marine water means where the salt concentration is high. Okay? Chalo, let's move further. Uh, the last part, that is vegetative reproduction. But in that, we will be learning many techniques. Again, this is very important part. So please pay attention. Vegetative reproduction. Now, plants reproduce asexually through their vegetative parts. Okay, what do you mean by that? See, normally in sexual reproduction, when plants reproduce sexually, seeds are formed, correct? Fertilization takes place, and then ultimately seeds are formed, and then you place these seeds in the field, you grow them, and trees grow out of it. But as I said, plants also reproduce asexually, and they reproduce asexually not through their seeds but through their vegetative parts. So, what do you mean by vegetative parts? Other than seeds, correct? It could be like roots, stem, leaves. So these are the vegetative parts. Now the new plants which will be produced. Again, this is an asexual reproduction method. So what do you expect? By vegetative reproduction, whatever plants will be produced, they all will be identical to each other as well as to their parents. Now, agriculture and horticulture exploits vegetative reproduction. मतलब वो vegetative reproduction के techniques आजकल काफ़ी use किए जाते हैं in agriculture, that is to grow different food crops as well as in horticulture. ठीक है? Horticulture मतलब where medicinal plants are grown. Hmm? Ornamental plants are grown, medicinal plants are grown. उसको horticulture कहते हैं. अच्छा चलो. So first technique is cutting. Hmm? First technique is cutting. Now, what is cutting basically? A small piece of any vegetative part of a plant is cut, but you have to make sure that that small piece of vegetative part that you are cutting it must have one or more birds. Okay, it definitely must have one or more birds. Correct? Only then that part can be used for propagation. I hope this is clear. So you can see there basic stem cutting. What they have done is there is a plant which is grown in a pot, है ना? So they have cut a stem and but it should have a bird. You can see there they have cut a stem and it has got two birds. है ना? It has got two birds. If you observe carefully, नीचे का stem का part कट किया है या ऊपर का कट किया है. Let's say उन्होंने ऊपर का कट किया है, तो there are two birds over there. So they cut the stem and with birds, and then they have ये cutting को they have planted with these nodes. हाँ, वो nodes को ही वो मतलब birds into the soil, into the pot. ठीक है? So birds are very important. One or more birds. Only then the reproduction मतलब the growth of the plant will take place. Examples देखो, stem cutting. This I have shown this stem cutting over here. So stem cutting obviously example is rose, है ना? Then leaf cutting. You can cut a leaf. You should only see that it should also have a bird, है ना? And you can plant it. You can grow it. For example, sansevieria. यहाँ पे एक पॉट में आपको प्लांट दिख रहा है ना, वो सैंसवीरिया है. यू मस्ट हैव सीन दिस सैंसवीरिया. इट्स एन ऑर्नामेंटल प्लांट. आपने बहुत सारी जगहों पे डेकोरेशन पर्पस के लिए यूज किया जाता है. कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिसेस, रिसेप्शन पे वगैरह रखा होता है, रेस्टोरेंट्स में, है ना? सो गार्डन्स में वगैरह. इट्स एन ऑर्नामेंटल प्लांट. सो लीफ कटिंग से इट इज बीन रिप्रोड्यूस्ड. You can also see plants can be grown by root cutting technique as well. So for example, blackberry. You can see here the blackberries, the diagram, the picture of blackberries I have posted. ठीक है? So stem cutting, rose, leaf cutting, sansevieria, which is an ornamental plant, and root cutting, that is blackberry. All these plants are grown and developed just by either cutting a stem or a root or from their leaf or from their roots. Only condition, it should the parts, the vegetative parts must have one or more birds. Okay, one or two birds. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Let me just have a sip of water. Okay, chalo, let's see this. Yes, now cutting I have already finished. Now let's talk about grafting. What do you mean by grafting? Now please listen carefully, this is important. Questions are asked based on this all asexual reproduction methods that I am discussing with you. Okay, questions are definitely asked in exams. So please pay attention, whether in boards or in entrance exams. So please pay attention. Grafting. Now in this basically parts of two plants. Okay, you take two plants and you take two different parts from these two plants and they are joined, correct, to get one plant. Okay, now you can take a stem from a part of stem from one plant, and you can take a root, okay, from one plant, and then you just join them both and then they will develop and grow as one single plant. Why we are doing this basically? क्यों करना है? क्यों इतना मगजमारी करना है? Why do you want to do this? Understand, when you want hybrid plants to grow, desired qualities, you may see different qualities in different plants. For example, rose ka plant hai, let's say, but red rose you have and you have white rose, but you don't have pink rose, let's say, and you want pink rose as well. So what you can do, you can just take the stem of a red rose plant, you may take the root part of the white rose plant, and you can tie them up and grow them together. Then obviously now it will grow as a single plant, and then you will get pink color flowers in that particular plant. I hope this is clear. Okay, so this is grafting. Understand? So when you want some, desired characteristics, desired qualities of different plants, to come into a single plant, and it could be fruits, it could be flowers, it could be anything that you want of your desired quality. So that time you can just take these two parts of two different varieties, two different plants, and you can use this method to get the desired products. Okay, hybridization technique है. The very important part is the part of stem which is taken. In this case, it is known as scion. You have to remember that. The part of stem is known as scion. ठीक है, SCION. And again, you have to take care that when you are taking this scion or stem part, it should have more than one bulb. It should have more than one bulb. Okay? And this is joined onto a rooted plant called as stalk. So you can see here they have labeled it. I have shown a diagram as well. Scion है ऊपर, नीचे stalk है, right? So basically that scion is a stem part which they have taken from one plant, and the stalk is the root portion. Roots दिख नहीं रहे वहाँ पे क्योंकि वो जमीन के अंदर गए हैं. Below the soil they have gone. But it is a rooted part of another plant. ठीक है, that is stalk. So stalk है नीचे of course, and above that the scion part, stem part from some other plant with birds. Do not forget that. So you tie them together. You know, they have tied it together, and then you can see how they have done. They have shown है ना कैसे ये दोनों को ज्वाइन किया है, वो भी दिखाया है मैग्नीफाई और जूम करके बॉक्स में, वो भी देख लो. एंड देन इट इज बीन टाइटली टाइड, है ना, so that it does not fall and it grows as a single plant. So after 2-3 days you will see that it starts growing as a single plant. Okay, scion and stalk, remember these names. This is bird. You can also do bird grafting. मतलब only one bird is joined on the stalk. उसको bird grafting कहते हैं. आपने stalk लिया, मतलब एक प्लांट का रूट वाला पार्ट लिया, एंड दूसरे प्लांट का इंस्टेड ऑफ टेकिंग अ कंप्लीट स्कायन, है ना, कंप्लीट स्कायन या कंप्लीट स्टेम, इंस्टेड ऑफ टेकिंग दैट आपने बस एक बर्ड लिया, दैट्स इट, एंड वो बर्ड को आपने स्टॉक के ऊपर ज्वाइन किया टू ग्रो इट एज अ वन प्लांट. इवन दैट इज पॉसिबल. सो उसको बर्ड ग्राफ्टिंग कहते हैं. ठीक है. Examples: this technique can be done in apple, rose, pear, etc. ठीक है. So I hope this is clear. Remember, again I'm telling, remember this is important. Remember that part of stem is called as scion. It should have more than one bird. And part of root from other plant, that is called as stalk. Stalk is always placed at below. उसके ऊपर हमेशा scion रखते हैं, and they are fitted together. Then they are tied together, joined together, tied together, so that it develops into a single plant. And then you can also use a single bird. Okay, instead of a complete scion, you can use a single bird. तो उसको bird grafting कहते हैं. Only one bird is joined onto the stalk. ठीक है. चलो examples भी दिए हैं. You can do this in apple, rose, pears, etc. Now last two techniques are remaining. Let's see that, and then quiz. Okay. Tissue culture. What do you mean by tissue culture? It involves use of small pieces of plant tissues. Now the small pieces of plant tissues, they are also known as explants. Okay, and they are cultured in a nutrient medium under sterile conditions. So what do you mean by them? What do you mean by that? You take a small pieces of plant tissue. Correct? You can see in the diagram. वहाँ पे एक leaf है. Correct? Leaf is an organ. So of course it is made up of tissues and cells. Then you just take, उसका petiole भी दिखाया है. वहाँ पे they have shown they have cut it. So you can cut a petiole. Correct? And you can take a small piece from it, and that is a plant tissue now, which will act as an explant. Now this explant or this plant tissue which you have taken from the leaf petiole, they have cultured it. You can culture it in a nutrient medium. You can see there a Petri plate which is used in laboratories, and it has got a nutrient medium. So basically उसमें सब nutrients होते हैं, and a medium is made out of it, and then this explant or plant tissue, you just put it in that nutrient medium and you allow it to grow. Of course, all these things are done under sterile conditions because we do not have several microorganisms, coming into picture. They should not enter, the live microorganisms should not enter the Petri plate, or else contamination will occur and you won't get the desired results. You want plants to grow out of it. That won't happen. ठीक है. So sterile conditions में किया जाता है to avoid contamination. Then using right growth conditions for each explant. Different explants, there are different growth conditions that can be used. The nutrient mediums could be different. The incubation time, ये आपको कुछ समय के लिए रखना होता है ये पेट्री प्लेट को in an incubator, ठीक है, which is like an oven. So temperature you have to set in, and for proper number of hours. Incubation period, it differs from plant to plant or tissue to tissue. So basically, you use right growth conditions for each explant, and then these plants can be induced to rapidly produce new shoots by adding some suitable hormones. Okay, as well as you can induce them to grow new roots. तो बेसिकली आप इस न्यूट्रिएंट मीडियम में न्यूट्रिशन तो आपने डाला ही है, मतलब अलग अलग मिनरल्स वगैरह, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट इफ यू वांट the shoot system and root system to develop fast, then you may add certain growth hormones as well, so that एक rapidly root and shoot system होगा, and finally छोटे छोटे plantlets आपको मिलेंगे. तो end में देख सकते हो आप यहाँ पे छोटे छोटे plantlets have come up, है ना. So this is tissue culture basically. कितने सारे plantlets आए देखो, small so many plantlets you can see which have come up. ठीक है. तो ये पहले वो पेट्री प्लेट में आए थे. पेट्री प्लेट में आपको मिला छोटे छोटे प्लांटलेट्स, फिर उसको आपने या तो आप पॉट्स, हर एक वो जो प्लांटलेट है हर एक लेके पॉट में ग्रो कर सकते हो, और एल्स यू कैन ग्रो ईच प्लांटलेट ऑन टू द फील्ड एज वेल. ओके, इट डिपेंड्स. So basically, एक छोटू सा small tissue आपने लिया था from the petiole of leaf, and from that you are able to develop, you can develop n number of several plantlets, and then each plantlet you can grow in a pot or into the field, and so it could be 10, 100, thousands, n number. आई बात समझ में? So many plants can be grown by this particular technique, which is known as tissue culture. I hope it's clear. Chalo. Let's move on to micropropagation. Now, micropropagation, it's a production of large number of plants from a small plant material. Right? It is production of large number of plants. काफी सारे plants आप produce करते हो from a small plant material. That is called as micropropagation. Now, tissue culture is the initial step of micropropagation. Understand? वो पूरा process को micropropagation कहते हैं, and tissue culture is the initial step. Okay, वो पहला step है micropropagation का, where plant cells are grown in an artificial medium, nutrient medium, laboratory में आपने grow किया है, developing them ultimately into a large number. So यहाँ पे I have shown a diagram. As you can see, micropropagation का. तो स्टेज 1 में क्या है? एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ एक्सप्लांट्स. पूरे टेक्निक को माइक्रोप्रोपोगेशन कहते हैं, एंड टिश्यू कल्चर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, वन इनिशियल स्टेप ऑफ इट. फाइन. सो यू कैन सी द एक्सप्लांट सोर्स सॉफ्टवुड शूट्स, है ना, वो वहां से एक्सप्लांट लिया गया, उसको ग्रो किया गया, एज यू कैन सी इनटू अ बीकर में न्यूट्रिएंट मीडियम है, कवर किया है उसको. देन वहां पे लिखा है देखो, शूट्स आर एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन दिस कल्चर मीडियम आफ्टर 2 to 3 months. 2 से 3 महीने में शूट्स आ गए. देन साइकिल 1 में आप क्या देख सकते हो? डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्मॉल क्लस्टर्स ऑफ शूट्स हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन प्लेस. देन साइकिल 2 में स्मॉल क्लम्प्स ऑफ शूट्स इंक्रीज, एंड मतलब बड़े हो गए, थोड़े बड़े हो गए अभी शूट्स. अगेन इन अनदर 2 months, नेक्स्ट 2 months, दैट इज साइकिल 2. साइकिल 3 में आप क्या देख सकते हो? और थोड़ा ग्रोथ हुआ है, एंड again after 2 months. Correct? This time period will vary from plant to plant. This example is showing it takes around 2 months for the shoot system to grow. And then you can see rooting has taken place, है ना? In vitro rooting has taken place. It took 1 month for that. Then again, in vitro का मतलब होता है लेबोरेटरी में, ग्लासवेयर में, लेबोरेटरी में आप जो कभी भी एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करते हो उसको इन विट्रो कहते हैं, ठीक है। एंड एक्स विट्रो का मतलब है बाहर, है ना, फील्ड में आप करते हो। then you can see the plants were established and individual cells, है ना। इसको भी almost 3-4 weeks लग गए। and the total आप काउंट करोगे अब तक ये स्टेज तक, तो टोटल ग्रोथ पीरियड इन सेल्स वाज 3 months। सो फॉर दैट प्लांटलेट ईच, वो जो प्लांटलेट्स ग्रो हुए हैं उसको ग्रो होने के लिए पूरा 3 महीना लगा, ठीक है। फिर क्या किया है, हर एक प्लांटलेट लेके एक ये पॉट में उन्होंने डाल दिया है, कैन बोला है वहां पे, ठीक है। तो एक कैन में उन्होंने मिट्टी वगैरह डाल के वो प्लांटलेट को दे हैव ग्रोन, एंड देन यू कैन सी इट हैज अगेन ग्रोन इनटू अ बिगर प्लांट। So this is basically micropropagation. Then further you can use it. You will grow it. You can take it into the field. You will get flowers, fruits, and further uska uses, applications जो भी है, you can go for it. But this entire technique is micropropagation because from a single tissue, a large number of plants are formed. I hope this is clear. Chalo, good. And don't forget, uh, tissue culture is the first step of micropropagation. So all asexual methods of reproduction I have already covered. So next time in my session, I would cover about, we'll start with sexual reproduction in plants. Okay? Chalo. So let's start with the quiz or poll. Now, since this is a recorded session, so obviously I will be giving answers. Okay, just pay attention. Budding in Hydra is a form of dash. Apoptosis, sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction, none of the above. Of course, in today's lecture, if you have heard it carefully, I had spoken about it. A hydra is an aquatic animal, and budding is seen in it. Of course, it's an asexual reproduction. So C is the answer. Moving further, dash is not a method of vegetative propagation. Not a method पूछा है, ध्यान से क्वेश्चन पढ़ना, ठीक है। ऑप्शंस भी ऑफ कोर्स, ग्राफ्टिंग, कटिंग, लाइटिक साइकिल या लेयरिंग। So grafting, cutting and layering, all of them are methods of vegetative propagation. Of course, lytic cycle is not a method of vegetative propagation. So answer here is C. Next. Dash refers to an asexual reproduction process wherein genetically identical copies of individual plants are produced. Okay. तो जेनेटिकली आइडेंटिकल कॉपीज ऑफ इंडिविजुअल प्लांट्स आर प्रोड्यूस्ड। ऐसा कौन सा है इसमें, लेयरिंग, बाइनरी फिजन, colonial propagation या none of the above. It refers to an asexual reproduction process wherein genetically identical copies of individual plants are produced. Layering, binary fission, clonal propagation, okay, none of the above. So answer is clonal propagation. Okay, I hope this is clear. It is same as micropropagation which I spoke about. Tissue culture है ना, तो वही है clonal propagation. Next, when living tissue from a plant is extracted and placed in a medium, it is called as. Living tissue from a plant is extracted and placed in a medium, it is called horticulture, transplantation, explant, and none of the above. Very simple. The answer is explant. And fifth and last question. The property of an undifferentiated cell that has the potential to develop into an entire plant is called as totipotency. Always remember this. Okay, totipotency. Chalo. So I have discussed the quiz also with you. I hope you have liked today's session. If you have any queries, you can always put in the chat box and whenever I will read it, I'll definitely answer all your queries. And I repeat, this was the recorded session, so I will soon be going live. So this is my YouTube referral code AP Ma'am Live. If you enjoy my lectures, please remember this code, use this code, and do not forget to join my live classes. ठीक है चलो so thank you all of you. Bye, have a good day, stay safe, take care all of you.